Hello world, Dave here. You might know me as mowdownjoe. I got to thinking recently. According to YouTube, I started uploading my Let's Play videos January 30th, 2011. That's 11 months ago. And, you know, that's quite something. 1 month from now, I'll be celebrating my 1 year anniversary. Which is cool for some people, but honestly, yeah, it's just 1 year, and this channel's still small, and I don't mind that. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with a small channel, even if I was recently approved for monetizing my channel. But you know what? Forget that. Anyway, some people like to do. You know, it's also very, very close to the new year. I mean, as I record, when this goes up, tomorrow will be New Year's Eve, so I got to thinking, why not combine my year-end Picks of the Year video with my 1 year anniversary video? You know, that sounds like a smart idea to me. Less work for me to do, less circle jerky congratulatory stuff. I say the 2 weeks after putting up a video of me showing off my new phone. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. One rule I'm going to stipulate right off the bat is that I'm not counting remakes for my favorite picks of the year, because otherwise, for this year, it would likely, my top 5 would be 3 versions of Cave Story, World of Goo, and Ocarina of Time. Can you guess what my top pick would be? I'll give you a hint. It's Cave Story. Anyway, since that's all out of the way, and let's get started with the show. Number 5 pick, I would probably say off the top of my head, Monster Tale. If you haven't heard of Monster Tale, it's the first game made by this little company called Dream Rift. Before Dream Rift was Dream Rift, all the employees at Dream Rift worked at EA, and they made a little game that I consider my 2009 Game of the Year. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, and probably the best DS game ever, not counting the 3DS, but best DS game ever. Not bullshitting you. Henry Hatsworth and the Puzzling Adventure. You have to check this game out. This game does not get enough love. Anyway, Monster Tale can be described as a spiritual successor to old Henry Hatsworth. They both are platformers, albeit Monster Tale takes a more Metroidvania kind of route. And they're both platformers that use 2 screens, not as like one big screen, but rather to have 2 different things going on, 2 different games going on at the same time. Whereas the top screen has the platformer that you should probably be paying a lot of attention to. The bottom screen has, well, something else. In Henry Hatsworth and Puzzling Adventure, it was Tetris Attack. In this game, in Monster Tale, it's a virtual pet. And both games kind of go above and beyond and try to connect the two in interesting ways. With the Monster Tale, it doesn't have to try that hard. Your virtual pet is, well, a pet that you get in a real game that helps you out in combat with stuff. So you raise him, you level him up, you get cool abilities. You bring him out, and then he fights for you, and does a lot and he grants you new abilities to fight with, which is damn handy. But that said, Monster Tale has its flaws. It's big, some really big honking flaws. I mean, it's a little short and a little on the easy side, which is honestly quite the opposite of Henry Hatsworth and Greg. Like, oh dear God, you know what? I've been going long on this game. Honestly, I'll just tell you this. Go check out Monster Tale. Or actually, no. Go check out Henry Hatsworth first. And then decide if you want to pick up Monster Tale. Number 4. My number 4 pick is Cthulhu Saves the World. I'm doing a Let's Play of that, so I'm going to be leaving all my gushing to there. Just go ahead and click wherever I put the annotation, like, for that playlist. Because, you know, I honestly think it's one of the best RPGs, but one of them. It's definitely the funniest, but, you know, go check it out. I got more RPGs on this list, though I have kind of a thing for RPGs. Number 3 on my list, The Binding of Isaac. I got a question for most of you, though. How many of you play roguelikes? Yeah, I thought so. Roguelikes, if you've never heard the term of the genre, basically kind of refer to any kind of dungeon crawly RPG where things are randomly generated and you kind of have to hope for the best on each run, because they vary from game to game and how they do things. Some kind of focus more on leveling, some focus on loot, but Binding of Isaac kind of takes the roguelike genre and melts it into Smash TV and then adds a veneer of Super Meat Boy and Zelda on top. That's The Binding of Isaac in a nutshell. The Binding of Isaac is probably I honestly like my indie games, but there's something about The Binding of Isaac that kind of puts it above and beyond most of the indie games I've played this year, just because, besides the aesthetic and besides the fact that it's tons of fun for only $5, it's just a well-done game, and not to mention the developer is still supporting it, so, that's just gravy. Alright then, number 2 on the list, number 2. Portal 2. It's like, honestly, I really don't feel I need to explain Portal 2 at all. It's a well-done puzzle. When first Portal came out, I don't think anyone ever thought of the idea of a first-person puzzler, or how that would come together, or if it would even be a good idea, but it certainly took off, and Portal 2 kind of takes that and puts a well-refined story in front of it. Valve knows how to tell stories in video games. I gotta tell you that. Even if so far they seem to be stuck in the genre of first-person shooter, they know how to craft stories in video games, and I have to give them thumbs up for that. And a well-crafted story, likable characters, good humor, interesting puzzles. Although the reason this is on number 2 is because of alt aperture and trying to get around there. But overall, I don't think there's any way that anyone could say elsewise that it should be up there with the games of the year. And number 1 on my list of favorite games this year that I've played that came out this year, Radiant Historia. Radiant Historia is what you show to people when they tell you that JRPGs are no longer relevant. It's story heavy, that's to be sure, but it's never thick, it's never too hard to grasp, it's never something that absolutely just boggles your mind, that makes you hate life, or it makes you wonder what the fuck they were smoking, or the characters are never just completely... The characters actually feel like real people. They actually have decent... They actually take the time to... There's actually some solid development of them, and it's just... I enjoyed it immensely. I'm trying to think... I believe I actually wrote like a 4-sentence review on Reddit for it. On Reddit, they actually have like a subreddit specifically for 4-sentence game reviews, and I guess maybe I should cut this short with by trying to recite my review from memory. Time-traveling RPG in the vein of Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross. Multiple split timelines allows the game to feel more open than it has any right to. Unique combat system with where enemies are placed on a 3x3 grid, and you can stack them to hit multiple enemies at once. Very unique, and story does not interfere with the game at all, in spite of its JRPG-ness and time traveling and all that. Yeah, I think that I definitely botched it going from memory there. I definitely botched it, but you get what I'm saying. I immensely enjoyed this game, and if you happen to enjoy choose your own story, choose your own adventure books when you were a kid, there's no reason you should not like this game. Wow, this video is starting to seem pretty long, so let's go ahead and rapid fire some special awards. Some special awards. Honorary award for a game that made me cry this year, Okami then, although that had more to do with the circumstances regarding everything rather than, the story being depressing. I died recently, whatever. Game that best game that I've played, that I've only watched a let's play of instead of, actually playing it. Although I really have no excuse for this one. I'll give it to Skyrim just so that Skyrim gets something, because, otherwise I'm going to get it well anyway. Best game from last year that I only played this year. I would likely have to say Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. I don't know what I was missing with that. I'm probably going to end up... This time next year, the same thing's going to be said about Assassin's Creed Revelations, I'm sure. And then I'll pick up Assassin's Creed 3. They are going to do Assassin's Creed 3, right? Right. And biggest disappointment of the year for me, biggest disappointment, would have to go to Symphony. If you had not heard of Symphony, I'll link to a trailer I saw of the game way back when, of this little indie game by a company called Empty Clip Studios, but this Symphony is the reason that indie devs should not announce release dates, because this guy said that it would be out by the end of 2011. 2011's almost over, it's not out. This game was supposed to take audio search place in my library. It was supposed to be like, but no, I haven't heard anything. So yeah, my biggest disappointment goes to a game I haven't actually played yet. Can you tell this has actually been a pretty good year for games? Oh well. Until next, I gotta say, I look forward to 2012, even if, maybe not everything has been great for me. Oh well. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dave. May you have a Happy New Year. Take care, everybody.